So how do you stand out in a crowded niche? I'm glad you're here because one of the biggest challenges we face as a content creator is how do you ultimately stand out, right? And so this is my favorite analogy, and it's this. If you think your niche is crowded, ask yourself, is coffee crowded? Like the coffee industry? Yes, it is. Here's a picture of a United States, coffee shelf of all the different brands you could choose from coffee. It's crazy. It could be like anything else. You're like, I see on there Seattle's Best, Millstone, Maxwell House, Luzane, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, all these other brands, right? Coffee is crowded, okay? So let's talk about it. So when you think about it in the coffee space, there's a brand like Starbucks, yeah? There's also a brand like Dunkin' Donuts, and there's a brand like Mothership Coffee. Now, you probably never heard of Mothership, but that's just like a local coffee roastery here in Vegas. And so what I mean is maybe you've been like a place like this. Like you've seen this guy, right? With the wax mustache, tattooed arms. He's got his full setup, a coffee spot like this. What you want to define is your USP, your unique selling proposition. Because the fact is, all three of those brands are succeeding. All three of those brands sell the same thing, but all three of those brands do it differently. And insert whatever brands you want. Starbucks, they're selling an experience. For a lot of coffee aficionados, they're also selling burnt coffee, right? It's maybe not it's not the best coffee in the world, but you're getting an experience, you're getting convenience, you're getting consistency because they're everywhere. Dunkin' Donuts, you're maybe getting speed and it's cheaper. Mothership, you're getting coffee art, single origin beans, just amazing flavor, berry notes of cumin from the soils of Africa, whatever. And so they're unique. They're all selling the same thing, but they figured out how to be different. That's what I want for you this year, is to figure out how to be different. And you need to know your unique selling proposition. And so on this chart, we're looking at a couple things, and this will show you, I want you to hone in on basically where we want to get you is the green check mark. Let's start with the red check mark. This is the losing zone. So in any industry, YouTube, Instagram, doesn't matter. There's what your consumer wants. The consumer wants to be entertained. The consumer wants to be educated. The target audience, they want something from you. That's what the consumer wants. And then there's what your competitor does well. So the consumer wants entertaining vlogs, and then the competitor does them really well. And maybe you're actually brand new to video. So you're in the losing zone if you try to give the consumer what they want, but you go right at it from what your competitor does well. But listen, that's not even what you do well. It's not your strength. You're in the losing zone because your competitor meets the consumer's needs better than you do. You'll be crushed. Just take a moment of silence right there. I hope it's kind of intense, but you'll be crushed. It's opening a Starbucks right across the street from Starbucks, and you can't be Starbucks because they're already Starbucks and they're good at being Starbucks. But you could open a Mothership Coffee, a local hipster coffee shop right across the street. Because guess what? All the people that are like, yo, I'd never set foot in a Starbucks, man. It's so corporate. I'm going to my hipster place. You know what I'm saying? Like you're no longer actually competing. So then the next area is the yellow question mark. This is a risky area. You do it good. Your competitor does it good. And it's also what your consumer wants. This is a battleground though. If you use emotion, you're innovative, and you have a superior execution, you can win in that middle area. You just do things better. And the quote here would be, better is better than better if you can win in this spot, right? You just have to be better than Peter McKinnon if you're going after that. And dude is hilarious. He's a magician, and he's got a lot of experience, right? He's got a natural flow to it. So rather than even compete for there, I want to help you win as a content creator, right? And so the winning zone is now, it's what your competition doesn't do well, but it's still what the consumer wants but it's what you do well, what your brand does well. This is your clear point of difference that meets the needs, and then make it even bigger. So then you want to amplify how you're different. You're not even trying to be Starbucks. You are Mothership local coffee hipster roastery, or you're Dunkin' Donuts and you're like, in 2 minutes or less, for $2 or less, you'll get your coffee and it's the best. Literally just made that up. What a flow. And so your USP, You want to hit that green checkmark area and be in that winning zone as it pertains to your brand. And one power strategy for this is polarizing positioning. All right, I need you to lean in right now because this next strategy can completely change your life if you apply it to your brand. And by the way, if you're getting value out of this video, can you smash the like button? And now let's jump into it because we're gonna figure out your polarizing point of view. Here we go. Think about polarizing Democrats and Republicans. Sony versus Canon. Oh, come on. I don't need any violence on the Full-Time Creator Masterclass talking about Sony versus Canon. Please keep it kind. No cursing each other out. Vegans versus meat eaters. I think what a lot of us, sometimes when our content is weak, is because we have not actually had the courage to go to a polarizing position. Not just to go there for drama, but to actually stand for what we truly believe in. Because think about it, news organizations on YouTube typically are going to be leaning to the left or the right, democratically or Republican or independent, and they're going to build a tribe around that polarizing belief. It's just true. Canon, the whole tribe of Sony Alpha A fam has a whole cult following because Sony's on the rise right now. Canon still does too. And it's a war. When you take a polarizing stance, you start getting noticed. Polarizing YouTube videos do better. You're like, this versus that. This will help you. Write the strategy down. Really standing around a polarizing point of view can help you stand out. Think about this. If you ever seen this guy before, Dave Ramsey. What's he teach? Get out of debt, financial peace, financial planning. Have you ever heard of this guy before? Robert Kiyosaki. What's he teach? Get out of debt, make money, get rich, invest it, put it in real estate. Now check this out. Dave Ramsey will tell you to cut up all your credit cards. Robert Kiyosaki will tell you, don't cut up your credit cards and use debt as leverage. The heck, man? Who am I supposed to follow? What am I supposed to believe? Check it out. Those are massively different points of view on how you should manage your finances. And guess what? Both of those guys are killing it. But they've gone to a polarizing stance. Dare I say, you'll hear them on podcasts and stuff call each other out. You'll hear Grant Cardone, another real estate guy, call out Dave. And not that you should call anybody out, but maybe you should. Maybe not to create drama, but to stand for what you believe in, to have a polarizing point of view to build your influence as a content creator. We interviewed Mariah Kang on Video Influencers, and she's a fitness coach, but she put out this image and it was highly controversial because after she had her kids, an 8-month-old there, she's like, what's your excuse? And she's showing off her body. People said, yo, you're fat shaming. And there's these videos, photo sparks backlash. But guess what? Some people were like, and then some people massively gravitated and were magnetized to her brand, and it led to new awareness. Do you have the courage to really put yourself out there to maybe take a polarizing stance? Because if you can summon that and stir that up and figure out what your polarizing and positioning and your unique selling positioning is, that could be the breakthrough for breaking through as a content creator. You know me, I say YouTube is the best. This is an example of polarizing positioning, and I truly believe it. I love social media. We're teaching on it today. I use it all, but I believe YouTube is the best. I back that statement up. I'll go toe to toe with anybody to say, no, YouTube is better than every platform. Why? I say that because I know that the social media hamster wheel is real. All these other platforms, you got to post on them all the time. I mean, shoot, you got an Instagram story multiple times a day. Oh, you got to post in your feed 2 to 3 times a day. Facebook, you're supposed to post 1 to 4 posts a day. Go live as much as you can. Twitter, come on, let's get that up to 5, 10 tweets a day, 20 tweets a day. Come on, let's go. LinkedIn, morning, noon, night. If you're doing Snapchat still, Snapchapping, Instagramming, even Pinterest is a search engine, but you got to pin. And I don't know if I'm causing you some stress right now, but you're pin. Instagram story, Facebook, right? It's crazy and it's powerful and you should use it, but it is causing a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and it can be really frustrating as an entrepreneur because it's an endless hamster wheel. The reason I love YouTube the most is because YouTube is a search engine. You probably heard this before, but when you plant seeds of quality videos and you water them through smart strategies and time, they grow to not only get views while you snooze, but to potentially produce passive income and profit for you on autopilot. And that's something I've experienced and many people in our community have as well. That's why I believe YouTube is the best. It's not even to say the other platforms aren't good or relevant, but you see where I'm coming from. That's a polarizing point of view. I'm happy if you disagree with it. Maybe let me know if you do disagree with it, but that is a polarizing point of view, and that's positioning. Let's go on to number 3, promotion. Okay, so I hope you got value out of that video. And actually, that was just one of the P's of our content creator pyramid. And if you actually want to watch a video that goes deeper into those strategies, I'll link it up on the YouTube card and post a link to it in the description below. Question of the day: who is one of your favorite content creators right now that you think is doing it differently, that's bringing something unique to the table, and why do they stand out to you? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.